Hello everyone, and thank you so much for joining us. This is a presentation of the ERS Global Business Opportunity Elite Realty Services. ERS offers a very diverse, multifaceted blueprint combining real estate, mortgage, and insurance. We love to say that we are in the business of creating wealth and establishing legacy. Important to note that we define legacy as the accumulation of wealth through asset acquisition, debt reduction, and perpetual income generation. Each of the industries that we participate in, real estate, mortgage, and insurance, as standalone industries, each of them is a multi-trillion-dollar space. We occupy all three spaces. We combine them in a unique collaboration of these three verticals. So the potential with the ERS opportunity for you is truly magnificent. ERS network of offices. This slide, probably at the point at which you're viewing this presentation, is outdated. We are growing that rapidly. At time of recording, we have 30 offices, as you see some of them on the screen here represented. But we do grow very rapidly as we're adding 3 to 5 agents to each office individually every week. We're actually adding more offices every month. Where do you fit? This is the backbone of the ERS opportunity. We offer you positions or opportunities as an agent, a builder, or an owner. So let's talk about the agent. You know what? If you just want to come to a company and be a successful, productive real estate agent, mortgage loan originator, or insurance licensee, this is the company to do that. We provide the access to all three industries through our system. We provide you 100% support with regard to systems which you can leverage for your success. We provide free training. We have get licensed programs. We have infrastructure and admin that supports, again, your productivity and success as a real estate agent, a loan officer, or an insurance licensee. Come here and be very productive and very successful in that regard. Secondly, we have the builder, the B in our ABO system. The builder is a unique position. It requires no license on the real estate and mortgage side. On the insurance side, of course, you have to be licensed. But let's talk about no license necessary. We have a very unique position called a BDR, or Business Development Representative. This person requires no license, yet you are still able to build a team that consists of licensees who are conducting licensed activities. Real estate agents, loan officers. When they close transactions, you get paid. I can't put it more simply than that. As a builder, you don't have to have a license with ERS, but when the team members that you have on your team close transactions in their given fields, you get paid, just the same as any licensee. So that's the builder. We really invite you to come in and build your office within our office. Thirdly, we have the owner, the O in our ABO system. Own a business, not just to have a career, own a business. We're looking for qualified business partners to come to ERS desiring to open up a new territory for us, own a profit center, an ERS branch. Truly, we have a defined path to ownership, low barrier to entry, but we are looking for qualified partners. So there you have it. Figure out where you fit. Ask the person who sent you this presentation, A, B, or O, whether you're going to be the agent or a builder or an owner, or you know what, a combination of any one of those three. Elite does provide the systems, the resources, and the total support that you would need. We give you the plan. We lay out the blueprint to take your business to the next level. The most powerful part of the ERS opportunity, I'm sure, show me the money, is the compensation plan. It is truly unique. It's revolutionary. Of course, there are other companies that purport to have or try to have profit sharing, override, or residual income systems or pay grids. I assure you that you'll find none out there that even approach the ERS pay grid. Our comp plan is so revolutionary that the money paid is very unique in that we pay from the bottom up. Most pay grids are either stair-step, and they certainly pay from the top down. Well, in those situations or those systems, not everybody gets paid every time. That is the wonderful thing that is truly unique about the ERS comp plan, is that everybody gets paid every time. So we pay from the bottom up. So everybody gets paid. Let's take a look at this slide. This is an example, again, just a sample of a $10,000 commission payout. Now that means that a gross commission, or GCI, gross commission income of $10,000 has been earned as a transaction is closed. Let's say in this hypothetical example we're talking about Agent John. Why not? Let's say John has a contract level or retention of 70%. Now, most of you who understand real estate understand that that means that Agent John is on a 70% split. That means 70% of the gross commission goes to John, where 30% goes to the company. And we split these monies from the GCI. We have agent dollar and company dollar. Now, John's got his dollars. He's okay. He's happy. His split has only been reduced by E&O of $132 and a 2% compliance fee and audit. So he's happy. John is quite happy. He's moved on. The company dollar is the $3,000 figure you see in the center of the screen, company gross profit. It's important to note as a branch owner, 20% of the $3,000 company profit or company dollar was carved out for the branch. This is a reimbursement for expenses. We do not charge our agents fees. We don't charge you for the desk fee, chair fees, light fees, scan fees, copy fees, color or otherwise. We don't charge fees of this nature, so it's important that the branch be able to try to recoup some of their expense right off the top in this fashion. So this is a 20% carve out for overhead to the branch owner. So the remaining company dollar is $2,400. Pay attention to this next few seconds. This is why we are legal and compliant. This is the reason why ERS can pay a business development rep, a non-licensed person, commission, or I should say income from a commission. It's because it's not commission, in fact. We're paying from the company dollar side. Now that means it's profit share, 100% compliant and totally legal. So that is how we do it. So if you'll note in the example here on this slide, $1,200 or half of the adjusted company gross dollar, $2,400, went to the profit share. So depending on what position you occupy in our company, which is wholly dependent upon how much you've built, how big your team is, how much of a builder you are for us. You're either a team leader, a manager, a director at 45%, senior director, a vice president at 65%, and 75% is our top payout. That's the president level. We pay out 75% of that profit share sum every time for every transaction. What's important to note about the ERS comp plan also is that we pay from the bottom up. In our system, everybody gets paid every time, every transaction. Now think about that. As I said, there are some other firms out there that do purport to have these types of profit share and team builder recognition or reward plans. The reality is, though, most of them are what's called stair-step comp plans. They pay from the top down, and unfortunately in top-down or stair-step scenarios, not everybody gets paid every time. Certainly not the guys at the bottom, and unfortunately a lot of times those are the guys who are doing most of the work. So why shouldn't they get something? At ERS we pay everybody every time because we pay from the bottom up. This is the largest portion of or benefit within our comp system, and this is our biggest claim to fame, is that we pay everybody every time. We have three different types of override systems. We have the direct pay, the direct override. We have a differential override, kind of like a gap override in the insurance business. And then we have a generational override. I want to take just a second to describe the generational override because you know what? Not everybody has this. This is a unique situation where if you notice on the right-hand side of the slide, the generational override incentive, what happens here is that if somebody on your team, say you recruit a superstar, and they pass you, they become a bigger builder, maybe they're more active or proactive in that regard, and they just recruit like wildfire. Now, in typical systems, when that person passes you, meaning they elevate to a status that's beyond you, you don't get paid anymore. Essentially, financially, that leg is now dead to you. You don't get any money, even though you are responsible for bringing that superstar into the company. That doesn't make sense. At least we feel it doesn't make sense. So we have a generational override incentive. This is to say that, of course, we want to encourage people to bring in superstars. We don't want anybody to keep someone down because or out of fear that they may pass them and therefore be cut off from them financially. So our generational override incentive protects from that. That is to say that even if somebody does pass you, that means that we recognize that you brought this person into the company, and albeit it's not going to be your direct or differential override amount or sum, it's going to be something. We're going to continue to reward you throughout that leg and downline for their production in recognition of the fact that originally it was you that recruited and brought that new business partner into the ERS system. And that's our way of thanking you for that. So truly revolutionary comp plan if you consider all three override systems. And then the opportunity, as I said, is abundant because of the three spaces we occupy. ERS Life is a totally diverse field, and I'm going to turn this presentation at this time over to an insurance executive and veteran, Michael Andrews with ERS Life, and he's going to lead you through the ERS Life portion of the presentation.
Thank you for the introduction, Mr. Damian Russell. You did an amazing job explaining the opportunity with ERS, with real estate and mortgages. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the newest addition to the ERS global family, ERS Life. Now, I must tell you, in order for you to receive compensation with ERS Life, you must possess a valid life insurance license. Okay? If you do not have one, that is not a problem. We will show you how to obtain one, and you can do so in no time at all. Now, as we go forward, when the leaders brought forth ERS Life, ladies and gentlemen, they did so with meticulous fashion, and being very strategic, they went out there and put together a fabulous program. I'm going to share with you not only our compensation, but I'm going to also share with you who we're doing business with. And in fact, speaking of who we're doing business with, keep in mind that we have over 30 carriers. They're solid, and we are working with some of the oldest and most established insurance companies in the world. Yes, they are worth billions of dollars in assets, and like I said, we have over 30 carriers. Now, here are just a few. Now, do we need 30 carriers? No, we don't need 30 carriers to be successful. However, we want the ability to have the resources in place so that you have the solutions to meet the needs of the families in this country. Now, take a look here, just a few that we have. You'll notice that they're name brand. They're top of the top. They have been around for a long time. They've stood the test of time. Strong foundations, and in some cases in business for over 100 years. Okay? This is just a small portion of who we're doing business with. Now, that was one of the questions that the leaders had to ask themselves when it comes to putting together the carriers. Now, another question that was asked, what makes ERS Life better, okay, or more improved than any other independent marketing organization? And you know that question was answered. So in doing so, we had to go out and compare, obviously, with some of the current independent marketing organizations. And as you will see, this is just some of the who's who. Now, just looking at what we're doing, as you will notice here, this is a 50 to 100% writing contract. This is what ERS does. No one will come into this firm and have a writing contract below 50%. As you will see here in company A, B, C, D, E, and F, you'll notice that they're all below 50. In fact, this one company, they're starting writing contract with their agents at 25%, 30%. And 45%. Now, let's take a look at this one here, because this is important to note. We provide full value contracts. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, if a person tells you we're going to pay you 50%, you're expecting 50%. But do you know there are companies out there that will give you a percentage only of your writing contract? So in this case, 45 is not really 45. They may be paying you 60 or 65% of your writing contract. With ERS Life, we provide full value contracts, okay? That's important. In addition to that, we have a 120% payout to the field. For those of you who have experience in the insurance industry, you know what I just said to you is absolutely amazing. You know that makes sense to you, right? Did you know also when it comes to promotion that there are some companies out there that would require that you give up a third of your team in order for you to be promoted? Okay, and I'll talk about that on the next slides, but this is important to note overall. Now take a look at this. With ERS, we have separated our writing contract to that of our builder contract. There's two separate contracts here within your writing here. Take a look. With ERS, let's say for an example, I'm brand new and I just got my license, I don't have any experience, so therefore I'm at a 50% writing contract. And with that, I'll probably get a 10%, no doubt. Now let's say Mr. Damian Russell, as an example, is one of my business partners. He just came on board. He's wanted to work with us now, and he's also a 50%. He's brand new. Well, did you know that under many independent marketing organizations, when you have two people at 50%, well, there's not going to be any money or overrides that any one of them will receive. And I'm going to explain that. This is very, very interesting. I'm going to explain it on the next slide. But just know that we have a builder contract and a writing contract. For those of you experienced, you're accustomed to hearing override. And I'm going to explain this, okay? Now, take a look at this example. In this example, let's say I went out and I talked to Sue, who is very excited. She already has her license but has never done anything. She has no experience, so therefore we give her a 50% writing contract. And she does very well, and she has a $10,000, let's say target premium, or in this case a commission payout, for those who understand target premium. Well, of that $10,000, she has a $5,000 commission that she will receive as a result of her 50%. The remaining $5,000 goes to the company for the purpose of paying out to the field. And this is how it works. You have 10% of the remaining amount going to the branch. Now, the branch ownership, as you know, as Mr. Russell explained, we have many offices and we're growing. So the branch owners will receive 10%. So as long that they have a life insurance license, they will qualify them for the 10%. Okay, so that leaves 45% in this example. Now, let's say that because I'm brand new, remember before I indicated that if I'm brand new and I'm 50% writing contract and I'm a 10% builder share, well, for this, I would get $450. Now, keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that under typical, or say traditional independent marketing organizations, what they will do is you will not get any compensation until your writing contract is usually on the average of 70-75%, and then you're qualified to receive compensation, or in some cases an override or a bonus, if you will, from the writing agent. So in this case, it doesn't matter. Even though I'm brand new, my writing builder profit share is 10%, I get $450 still. Isn't that amazing? And as I go up, of course, this goes up. And once I get to 70%, then the generational override kicks in as well. Okay? Now, you need to sit down for this, because what I'm going to share with you is going to be phenomenal. You need to understand that as a result of the builder profit share going out paid by the company to the field, that you do not need to be appointed with any carrier in order for you to qualify to receive the builder profit share payout. You heard me correct. That is unprecedented, because for those of you who are experienced, you already understand that if Agent Sue went out there and she did business with an insurance company A, well, typically in order for you to receive any type of override or any type of compensation as the agent's upline, you need in some cases to be appointed with the same carrier. And if that contract was written in a different state, then you must be licensed in that state also. Right? Not so with ERS Life. We make it real simple. Okay? So because the remaining amount going to the company for profit payout, then you're able to, based on your level, to receive the builder profit share. Isn't that amazing? Now, keep this in mind too. Let me go back to the previous slide. Let's say that I'm here at 50%, and Mr. Damian is actually, he's now doing a lot of business. He's increased his writing contract, and let's say he goes up to 70% as an example, and I'm still at 50. Well, under certain, I would say most guidelines with independent marketing organizations, well, I will not receive anything from Mr. Russell's production. Well, keep this in mind. It doesn't matter. I'm still receiving compensation on his writing contracts. Whenever he's doing business, I'm still receiving a percentage based on my builder contracts level. Does that make sense? So this is unprecedented. That is what separates us from the rest. We believe is revolutionary, and we haven't seen anything else like that. This is amazing. This is what's getting attention to from a lot of people who are saying, wow, this really shows us that your leadership is taking care of the people. Now, one thing you have to realize too is this: if you notice that the builder profit share pays from the bottom up, It starts from the bottom and pays its way up. So if the next person in line is at a 30%, well, then they get the differential between the two. Okay, this is very important to note. Our system pays from the bottom up, not the top down, as in what you see typically and traditionally. In traditional compensation plans, it pays from the top on down, and for those who are below 60% or 65 or even 50%, they're not getting anything at all. So this is huge. Let me also address this here. As you see here on the generation, we pay 7 levels deep. This is amazing. Now, of course, I have looked at a number of different compensation plans out there from a number of great independent marketing organizations, and some they pay 5 levels, and some pay 7 as well. We believe ours is, really generous. Keep in mind, there are some out there saying, "Oh, ours is infinite levels deep." Well, how can it go infinite levels deep when maybe you have founders, other people who are at 100% stacked in there as well? It can't go really infinite levels deep overall. I think you can see my point there. So keep this in mind. With ERS, we're taking care of the agents who are out there in the field, starting from the bottom up. The people who are getting paid the least are getting paid first with ERS Life. That's unprecedented. And this is what we want to share with you, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so what we want to do is let you know that, if you have any questions, get back to the person that brought you here. Get back to the person. Let them know that you want to take this to the next level. And keep this in mind. Keep in mind, it doesn't cost anything to join at all. Nothing to join. So we're looking forward to doing business with you. We're looking forward to you working with us and helping us take our message to help families across the country. That's what it's about. It's about providing solutions. And remember, it's not about you. It is about your legacy. Thank you so much for taking a look at ERS and the overview that we provided today. Thank you so much. We look forward to doing business with you. Bye for now.